Well, hello there everyone. This is Jm764, and well, technically, this video is supposed to be at the end of the next part of the video that you're going to be watching, but I just wanted to put this in earlier since it's a bit more important. So, this fan on the right over here is the old fan for my i7 rig right there, and this is the newer one. And yeah, it's still having overheating issues, which I'll explain in the part you'll see in a moment. But, yeah, this, compared to this, I'm not sure what's going on. Like, I tried changing the thermal paste out again, reseating it, everything I could think of, but that thing still overheats. So I have no idea what's wrong. Also, I did mention this like a few videos back, but this is my new keyboard. And let's just say it was the best 20 bucks I ever spent. Trust me, you should get it. It even has this cool feature where you can swap the WSD keys by pressing this button with the arrow keys right here, which is an awesome feature. So unless you're really picky about your like keys and how they press and sound, then I recommend getting this if you're broke. And over here, the most important part though, I failed to mention it, but apparently one, maybe two, or even all four of my RAM sticks in here have partially failed. They haven't completely yet, but I was doing some testing maybe a few weeks ago, and this thing locked up, like, for no apparent reason. And I ran mem tests, which I use to test the memory in all my PCs, including those old ones and that ancient Phenom 3 even. And every time, at least when all 4 cores are running the test on this machine, at exactly 6 minutes and 58 seconds, the computer completely locks up. Now, it doesn't lock up in the usual sense, as for at least mem tests, a bunch of errors would start popping up on the screen saying, hey, one of your RAM sticks is shot, replace it, kind of thing. Instead of doing that, it literally just freezes. But I know it's still running because memtest has like a little blinking plus icon, and I would be running it now, but obviously I'm using this PC to record my voice. Basically, it was still flashing. So I know the PC runs, it just hard locks. Well, more like soft locks. And the only way out of it is to basically power off the computer the hard way and turn it back on. Thankfully, I don't seem to run into that broken part of the RAM under normal usage for, say, like video editing and stuff. But it's really annoying that I can't use all my RAM in this PC. So, yeah. 3 major problems. Technically, one of which I can fix, and the other 2 I can live with for now. But it's going to be very annoying in the future. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video, everyone. Jm764 out. Why, hello there, everyone. This is Jm764. Well, I have good news and bad news. If this looks a little odd to you, that's because it is. And for those who can't guess what you're looking at, well, aside from my TV, which is my computer screen, well, this is Strain Fever. So y'all are probably wondering, why does it look like that? Well, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. But from what I can tell, I think my graphics card is dying out on me. And obviously that's not really good now, is it? I don't know. For like the past month or 2, it's been acting up and all. But as of recent, things like this has started happening, and sadly it's only affecting Train Fever, and yeah, you can see like when I move around or change the camera angle, everything glitches out. I don't know what's wrong. The weird part, though, is the fact that, everything else seems to be perfectly fine. Like, the trees are fine, the buildings are fine, the vehicles are fine. Everything else is fine. But the ground is glitched. Terribly. You're probably wondering, oh, that's probably just train fever, isn't it? Well, it's not. I'm gonna exit out this photosynthetic sheezer inducing imagery here and show you something else. So let me go to my network, my other PC, which is on behind me at the moment, whenever that loads up. But while we wait, here's my Phenom rig, by the way, and this is my secret to my terrible camera and its microphone using Audacity on my headless? No, wireless, sorry, headset and all. And over here is the hardware monitor, which, as you can see, it's a bit high for CPU usage, but my Phenom's just fine with these kind of temperatures. But if I go over to my i7, notice the max temperature. And that's not even under full load. So there's also that problem with the terrible cooling, and for some reason it's not coming up. It should. Well, anyway, basically, if I try to run videos and all, they get roughly the same effect when they start up as well. So that's another problem of mine. But here's probably one of the bigger problems, which I hope I don't run into too much. So, this is Prime 95. It's pretty much a CPU torture test and a bit of RAM as well. So I'm gonna start this up, and you're gonna see what has been afflicting me the most when it comes to actually utilizing my i7. So if I just go over here, yeah. Now bear in mind, the maximum recommended temperature, and this is like you don't want to pass this at all, no matter what you do under normal use, is 72 degrees Celsius. This basically hits up to 90, give or take a few degrees. So, I'm going to stop this thing before any further damage is done. So yeah. So basically, I can't max out my i7. I even replaced the fan in it, which I would show you, but all this stuff's in the way, and it's hard to get down there. So, there's that. I don't know what's wrong with my rig at this point. It's just acting up. But the good news is, at least, I pretty much have enough money to get the RX 480 Radeon, which should at least solve my graphics issues. And to be honest, while I can't max out my i7, I've never really seen it go over maybe 50 or 60% at most. So it should be fine, but all these little intermittent issues just kind of annoy me, to be honest. At least there is some hope. I technically could put like $200 into my old rig here and upgrade it, but I don't think I will. At least not now. It's still fairly decent. It still takes forever to render stuff, like even those 720p videos that I had, which technically were 2K res downscaled originally. Those took like 1 to 2 hours to render each, and that wasn't even maximum quality, so it's a bit slow. Not too bad. But this i7, that's what I'm worried about, because I don't want it to fail. Because while I have almost enough money for the RX 480, I clearly don't, because, you know, bills are due. So, I don't know. Hopefully within this week, I can fix it. Otherwise, I might be out of recording and stuff. And speaking of which, I am going to be busy for the next week or so, so I probably won't make any videos. Same goes for my other channel. I'll try to do that Train Fever video on Wednesday if I can do it, but I don't know if I'll have time, at least not early enough in the day. Oh well. Anyway, this has been Jm764, and I have some work to do. Oh well. Bye everyone.